we got a little insight on what's going to happen with these international games in 2026. We know the long-term play is likely to result with every team playing 2 international games and double buys and everything. It could be 3 years from now, it could be 5 years from now. We don't know, but that's where this thing is trending. We know it's the big new revenue source for the NFL. And we got some of the locations for next year and who's playing. So, for example, we know that the Cowboys are going to play for the first time. Any team will play in Rio there in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. The Cowboys will headline that one. We know for the first time the NFL is going to play in Melbourne, Australia, which should be really interesting to just see how the time difference, frankly, impacts some teams. That is quite the haul. But it will be 2 West Coast teams. It will be the Rams and the 49ers, a divisional showdown. We know the Saints are going to participate for the first ever game in Paris, France, and then we're waiting to find out who will once again play in Munich, in Madrid, in London, where there'll be 3 games. So they continue to add more and more locations for international games. This is where it's trending. But I still think my biggest frustration with this is not so much that they're playing internationally. It's inevitable. It's the fact that we're taking away divisional games. And last year I saw this firsthand with the Chiefs and Chargers game opening up the season. That's a divisional game. Now, it was the Chargers who lost the home game. It was their home game. So they lost it at SoFi. And I would argue in a weird way, for them, it was less impactful because, frankly, anybody that's paid attention to SoFi Stadium for Chargers games, it's a ton of opposing fans, much like the Raiders, where it's a ton of opposing fans. But, man, I hate this idea of taking divisional games away from fans and from teams that would have a home game. And here you are. The Rams will lose a home game, and they will welcome in the 49ers for a big divisional showdown in Australia.
Yeah, it's frustrating as an NFL fan because if I'm a Rams fan or if I'm a Niners fan, like I hate that a divisional game is being taken overseas. And that's the thing. It's like, look, I'm all for the NFL playing games in countries all over the world. I mean, it doesn't benefit me as an NFL fan at all. Like it's just I understand it brings in a lot of money and a lot of new eyeballs to the sport, and this sport is trying to go globally the way the NBA has over the last 20 years. But why are we sending our best matchups overseas? I don't get it. It feels like when your best friends have a destination wedding. Like, it's great for them, I guess. Like, like it's going great. But as a lifelong friend, I want to see you get married here, stateside. I don't want to have to shell out money to go overseas just to watch you play. Not saying that, all Rams fans or Niners fans have to shell out money to go see them play, but it has the same feeling as that. I don't get why we're shipping our best matchups to people that are casual observers at best. Don't get me wrong. There are diehard fans. I've been to a game in England, and I saw firsthand there are diehards over there. But there are diehards for football over there the way there are Premier League and Champions League diehards here in the States. Most people don't care. But it's only the people that are waking up at the crack of dawn on a Sunday morning and filling up your Twitter timeline with soccer tweets that care over there for football here. Like, so why are we sending them our best? Why not send them some matchups that don't really matter? Why not be more strategic with that? I don't understand. The NFL has everything figured out. So you could send them any matchup there and they would be excited about getting it. Like Melbourne getting a game for the first time ever, they're going to be excited. I don't think they care that it's a big, and it will be big next year with the Niners and Rams. Like, that will have serious divisional implications on it. Why are we sending them that? Why can't we send them Rams, Buccaneers, or the Rams play the Titans, or play the Colts and Niners? Like, why don't we send them a game that really doesn't have even really any conference standings in it, let alone divisional standings?
So I'm with you on the divisional part, as I said. I think that's the part that upsets me the most. My guess is the NFL is doing it because for some of the international games, they're standalone. and I don't know if the Australia one is. And so they're trying to protect their TV partners as well, the same way that the Sao Paulo game last year or the year before when it was Green Bay in Philadelphia overseas in Sao Paulo, and I think that was that an NBC or an Amazon game? I can't remember what it was, but point is, like, I think some
Yeah.
of it is they're trying to entice their new streaming partners. Hey, we're going to give you the best. This is why, for many years, the Chiefs have been playing on Christmas and Thanksgiving and all these days because they're trying to get the team that draws the most eyeballs. But I think for the sports fan in the United States, these international games should be frustrating. And suddenly we have to remember that it's not, these international games are not for us. You're right. Like, fans they're not worried. They're not trying to get the LA fan to fly to Australia. That's not like their goal. This
Right.
is not like, oh, it's going to cost LA fans money. That's not what they're talking about. They're trying to do it for the eyeballs they're going to get there to expand the game. We all know why they're doing it. I just think there should be a cap on the divisional games. The challenge is, though, Austin, we better get used to this, man, because if the NFL goes the way it's likely headed, where we're going to have every team playing 2 games overseas, well, then we're going to get divisional
Yeah.
games all the time. You're going to have to with the scheduling.
Sure, and I get that aspect. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I understand that. Yeah,
Yeah.
eventually we're gonna have to send some divisional matchups over there. But for right now, like, Costco isn't giving me a full steak. They'll give me a steak bite, and because they know that I'm probably not gonna buy the pallet worth of steak anyway. They'll give me a sample. Why aren't we giving samples to Melbourne, Australia? We know they're not gonna buy in automatically right away. Like, it's not. They're not like instantly you send them a Rams Niners game and the whole country's going to have football fever. Sure, it helps, but I don't get why we have to send them the very best of what we have overseas for this, like, exploration. Like, I feel like even when, like, the Pilgrims came over to America, they didn't start building their best. They didn't establish their territories with their absolute best foot forward. I feel like they just, it starts with tents and, you slowly build up to that. Right now is not the time for us to be sending over our very best.